Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I go by Hiram or Bogwa. Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial. So today I'll be going over the Java input stream class. We've already utilized the Java input stream class. It's just that you did not know that you were using it. And let's take a look at the example that we've utilized before. As you might have already guessed, we use the input stream class whenever we were reading inputs from the user. Now, we don't explicitly say that we're using the input stream class, but let me show you where we actually find the input stream class. So here in the system.in, it's actually an input stream variable. So inside the scanner, we pass the input stream variable. It's just that it's called in. So with that, let's do a deeper dive into the input stream class. I'll start by removing this. Now here I've set this path to this file that I've created. It's a simple text file, and I'll show you. Here it is. And this is what you can find inside that file. It's just a few lines of code. It's just a few lines of text that I'm going to read from. So before I use the input stream class to read, the first thing that I need to do is define the input stream. So here I've defined a file input stream, but I've set the variable to be of type input stream. So based on our knowledge of object-oriented, that means this class extends the input stream. Now if we go to it, let's look at the definition. So it's public class file input stream extends input stream, which is why we're able to assign it to the input stream variable. Next, I'll go ahead and write a few lines to read from that actual file. So here in our constructor, we pass the path to our file. But now I'm going to write some code to read from that file and print that data out. Okay, so here I've written this while loop statement to read from the file and print out each of those characters that we're going to read from the file. With the input stream, we're reading each character in the file, and that character is being recorded in as a number, which is why we're setting it into an integer. I'll put a link in the description to chart breakdown of character to, that's what allows us to convert from like a number to a character. So a number ends up representing a character. And in here, what I'm doing is I'm converting that number to a character and I'm printing it out as a character. So I'll go ahead and run this. And as you can see, we have our file details. So if I open up that file again, I have CodeRush guide, guide by date, and bullet point here. And same thing in our output, we got the exact same thing. Now again, here we have the input stream class, which is the base class for all IO inputs in Java. I'll show you a better way to write this code where instead of doing this conversion, we can use a few other classes that allow us to read from the file by line instead of using this whole conversion method. So the first thing that I'll do is define an input stream reader. And then next I'll define the buffer reader. So now I can rewrite this code. Instead of that, I'll use the buffer reader. So here, as you can see, I'm reading a whole line instead of a single character at a time. So let's go ahead and run this and see. And there you go. We have our output again. Something that I've added here in my main class is this throws IO exception, and I'll go ahead and remove it. Now, as you can see, we get a compilation error, and that's because these classes can throw an exception. So for example, if the file is not found, that would throw an error. And same thing if we're trying to read and we're unable to read, that can throw an exception. So one thing we can do is modify our method to include that throws whatever exception it is, or we can surround this by try catch. So what I'm going to do is surround this with the try catch. Remember, the try catch is a safe way of handling our errors. So instead of the program crashing, I'm gonna print out a statement saying, hey, there was an error reading from the file, and the program will exit gracefully. So I'm going to modify my file name, that way it crashes, and I'm going to run this code. So now I should throw an exception in here, and we'll catch that exception and print out this statement. So let's go ahead and run. And there you go. As you can see, error reading from file. So now let's fix that and try it again. And there we go. We have our output. Thank you for watching my tutorials. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe if you haven't. And also check me out on Instagram at coderush.io.